Today, I want to equip you with the GROW coaching model. This is a simple agenda for a coaching session, whether it's formal or informal. And learning this will give you confidence to deal or to lead any coaching discussion, because you know the flow, you know the steps, and you know that the outcome will always leave the coachee in a better space. This is like many of your experience with the 5 solid goal questions. Once you've learned the 5 solid goal questions, you know how to initiate a conversation that introduces 8 reasons why people do MLM. And you ask 5 questions in precise sequence with confidence. And if it's a serious person, both of you will be wowed at what you've discovered at the end of the session. And remember, when you started the session, you didn't have the answers. You just asked the questions. Okay, so the GROW model is a very common coaching framework used by executive coaches. GROW is an acronym that stands for, G, goal. What do you want? R, reality. Your current reality. Where are you now? O, there are a couple of terms people use for O, options. What could you do, including obstacles, what to avoid. And W is the will, is the way forward, or what's next, or is the wrap up when you finish the coaching conversation. Who will do what by when? That's the action step. So goal, reality, options, obstacles, will, way forward, what's next. John Whitmore described these phases in his book Coaching for Performance as the 4 key elements of every coaching session, whatever you call it. And coaches use this model to help their coaches improve performance, solve problems, make better decisions, learn new skills, and reach their career or life goals. Let's start with goal. So coaching always starts with establishing a goal. It could be a performance goal, a development goal, a problem to solve, a decision to make, or a goal for just this particular coaching session. This is like your GPS when you're driving, First thing you do is you set your destination. This is also the first crucial characteristic of a leader, compelling desire, or your why. This is habit 2 of highly effective people. Begin with the end in mind. Now, on goals, many people use a SMART goal format to define a goal, where the letters stand for, specific, measurable, attainable. What is R? So when you read on the website, a lot of people say R is realistic or it's relevant. I don't buy that, because, realistic is the same as attainable. Relevant, why would you set a goal that's not relevant? So it's redundant. I use in SMART, I use risking. Always taking a risk, doing something that's uncomfortable. And then of course T is timely. So the key is to set a goal which is not just smart, but actually inspiring and challenging. So not just a SMART goal. SMART is just a little checklist, but have a goal that's inspiring and challenging. Then it excites you. R. R is your current reality. This step in the GROW model helps you and your coachee gain awareness of the current situation. What's going on? What's the context? What's the magnitude of the situation? And when you look at your GPS example, the next thing you key in your GPS is your location. It's like the floor plan in a shopping center. When you're standing there, it says you are here, because only when you know where you are here, then you know which route to take. Now, I've heard some coaches, when they explore this stage, consider outer inner perspectives. The outer perspective identifies the playing field, strengths, challenges, issues that will come into play. And then the inner perspective explores the emotions and motivations connected to the desired change. Okay, I tell you frankly, I'm of the brief coaching school, short and sharp and simple. And I think this phase shouldn't be about assumptions and thoughts, but more about facts. Because once you start exploring your emotions and motivation, you're telling yourself all kinds of stories. And we're not psychologists. Okay, I like to focus on facts, where the client just describes as current reality and not the imagination of a situation. And this is often a big aha. Once you understand your reality of where you are, it's the moment where the next steps become quite obvious. Now, most people actually have not thought about their current state, or they have an incomplete perspective. They see the cup as half empty. They see only the negative things, or what they hear from other people, get affected emotionally. That's why when you're down, those of you who work with me, I suggest you write 5 or 10 blessings. When you write that, you become more aware of your actual reality, not just the bad things that make you feel down. Now, for the coach, this is a reminder to use your active listening skills. Okay, don't jump to a solution to generate a solution, or jump to share your own opinions. Okay, use active listening skills. Okay, so GRO, options and obstacles. Okay. So there will be obstacles stopping the client getting from where they are now to where they want to go. If there were no obstacles, the client would already have reached his goal. Okay, so in the GPS example, you see the traffic jams are identified, where the speed traps are, where the ERP charges are, so that you can plan to avoid them or overcome them. For example, if you see an ERP there, you don't want to avoid it, then you better have money inside your card so you can make plans. Okay. Once both of you have a clear understanding of the situation, the coaching conversation turns to what the coachee can do to reach their goal. You're examining possibilities, you're looking at strengths, you're looking at resources, you're looking at all the options that are available. Okay. And the coachee will generate ideas that can contribute to the solution of the problem. Okay. Now, at first, it's important, I think, not to judge the options. Just collect them. Okay, this is called brainstorming. Is start a creative brainstorming process without censure, without conditions. Just generate solutions. Then later you can structure it to evaluate every option. At this point, we're talking about doing. Okay, we're talking about doing, finding what actions we want to take. But remember, the power is in the being, it's in your way of being. So, a good coach would ask you, who do you need to be, in order to achieve that. Okay. Lastly, W. Okay, that's some people call it will. I'm from Asia Work, so I just say what's next. Okay, it's a way forward. It's a forward-moving actions. And of course, you will examine who will do what by when. So you're defining an action plan, not just some vague idea. This is the last step in the GROW model. At this stage, as a coach, you will check for commitment, and then you help the coachee establish a clear action plan for the next steps. During this phase, a coach can find out what the client is actually willing to do to move towards their goal. This is the phase where you create accountability and you create a structure for tracking future progress. Now, in a coaching session, you can see that you want to spend most of the time in the goal and the reality phase. Okay, because when the goal and the reality is thoroughly explored, this deeper vision will help the coachee, help the client to move forward much more easily, for him to generate his own solutions. Okay, let me give you a very simple example, that we do every day when we do TR90. Okay, so using the GROW model to achieve a goal of bringing down the weight. So let's say the client wants to bring his weight down to 50 kilograms within 3 months and to keep it down. Okay, that's their goal. Okay, if you ask a few more probing questions, you establish if the concerns were fat, or is it muscle, or is it size, or are there any other health issues like diabetes or hypertension. Okay. The more heartfelt and the more personal, the more meaningful the goal is to the person, and they're more likely to commit to and achieve the goal. Okay, so you want to have some exciting goal. Okay. Next would be to establish the reality. Okay, and that simply what is the weight, what are the other readings, okay, that you get on the Omron. Okay, so that's establishing the reality. The third step, obstacles or options. Okay, this is when you ask awareness questions to deepen understanding of what is happening when the client has tried to lose weight in the past. So you identify the obstacles. Okay, these questions will include when you have been able to lose weight, what made the difference? What is the difference between the times you're able to keep weight off and the times, and the various questions. Finally, W, what's next, or the will or the way forward. Okay, what would have to change for you to be sure you could lose the weight and keep it off? Questions like this. Okay, just a simple example. You can see the pattern. Okay, using the GROW model. So last week, we saw that the key difference about coaching is asking questions rather than giving advice. Coaching isn't telling the coachee what to do. It's helping the coachee come up with their own answers by asking the right question at the right time. So next week, we will explore some questions you can ask at each of the 4 stages of the GROW model. Okay, so we'll revise the GROW model again, and we'll look at some questions. Okay, so that's all we have for today. It was a simple model. Tomorrow is Tuesday tips. Okay, very, very practical tips for us, especially when month end is coming and we want to achieve our targets for this month. Okay, so bye everyone. Have a wonderful week. Okay, let's grow.